Hello, Gemini. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be your final message for 2023. This is going to be your monthly message for December, and so keep in mind, Gemini, timing and energy is fluid. This could have already happened because I'm getting this out late. It could be happening right now or is about to happen, and so keep that in mind. Also keep in mind energies, characters, they can be swapped around. So swap around the characters, but do not cram yourself into a message that's not meant for you, okay? If it's not your message, it's just not your message. Check your other signs and placements. Gemini, this is for any major Gemini placements. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. So yes, check your other placements if this message does not resonate. I was in meditation, Gemini, and I felt this contradictory energy, almost like either you're dealing with somebody with a double personality, or maybe you're in this Jekyll and Hyde energy. I feel a very paradoxical situation playing out, and maybe this has been playing out for the majority of 2023. I'm not sure, but the energy was feeling very low, very dense, very heavy. I just feel like it's like the parting of the ways. It was like the parting of the path. I was kind of shown like a divine Y path, and it's like the parting of the ways. And maybe you're parting ways with many people right now. We are closing out a major 4-year cycle collectively. And for some reason, I want to ask you, what was going on in your life around this time in December, back in 2019, Gemini? Because I do feel something has kind of come in full circle when it comes to about 4 years ago. And so if you've been feeling stressed, I get it. This is the most stressful time of the year for a lot of people, but I just feel like this underlying readiness to embrace some change. And so maybe it's time to let yourself get lost in the present moment despite any stress or any paradoxical situations going on around you. And the one main thing that I heard in meditation was, don't force romance. So maybe you've been in a contradictory relationship. Maybe it's been a lot of back and forth, Jekyll and Hyde, double personalities. Like, you know, when you're in an intimate relationship with somebody, trust me, they end up seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And so maybe you're dealing with somebody that's draining you. I'm not entirely sure, but we can't force romance. We can't force anything. If you're going to force something, it's probably shit, right? So we don't force connections. We don't force romance. And so whether you're dealing with somebody trying to force you to do something you don't want to do, or maybe you've been trying to force a connection, and if it's just not flowing, then it's just not flowing. And maybe it's time to part the ways, part the Red Sea, so to speak. Okay, so let's jump in with some cards. I am going to use the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck for you, Gemini. I've been using it for all of the signs. So let's see. Oh yeah, there is a karmic lesson, and I do feel you are evolving out of some type of situation. So there's a situation or a relationship situation that you have been in that is about to shift. And I do feel maybe a completion of a lesson. I pre-shuffled these, so maybe you agreed to go into this contract, a higher contract, right? We agree to many higher soul contracts along our human experience, this life, right? To resolve past life karma. So there could be a past life soulmate here there that you've been asked to maybe work through some very painful lessons. Maybe there's communication issues. Maybe that's the lesson. Maybe there is commitment issues. Maybe that's the lesson. But you can't force romance, and maybe that's the lesson. And maybe it's time to grow beyond trying to force something to work. If it's just not working, then surrender and kind of let it go. So let's see what else needs to come through for you, Gemini. But I do feel this readiness for change. It's time for change. Going into 2024, we will have Jupiter entering into Gemini, and so that's going to be some fast moving energy, and I do feel the mutable signs are going to be liking that. So there could be a huge clearing going on right now to prepare you for when Jupiter enters into Gemini. So maybe you're a Jupiter in Gemini. It doesn't have to be. But let's see what else needs to come through for you, Gemini. I think the cards aren't wanting to talk today. So what's going on with Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North. Oh, there we go. Surrender. Surrender to the karmic lesson. I think that's loud and clear. That's all that came out, Gemini. So it's time to surrender to the lesson. Maybe it's time to release the ego, right? And maybe that's where the contradictory double personality energy has been coming in at, right? And so when we go through this ascension process, it is a process of duality, and Gemini is the master of duality. You are a sign of duality. There is two sides to Gemini, two personalities to Gemini, right? I'm a Venus in Gemini. There are two sides to me, and the side you show me is going to be dependent on the side you see from me, right? And so because you're a mutable sign, you can shift through all kinds of situations. Where are you going, Kitty? I got Kitty up on the table. She hasn't made an appearance in a video in several months now. But I feel the divine has something planned for your life, and it's going to be a powerful shift, and it's more important than your own personal agenda. So maybe it's time to work through a very painful lesson. Maybe it's time to surrender to maybe disconnecting from a connection and parting of ways, and to release any fear, because this is prompting you to make changes. The energy has been prompting you to make changes when it comes to your life purpose. And so where do you need to disconnect from people, places, and things, Gemini? I do feel there's a need to spend some time alone, like the Hermit. You could be dealing with a Virgo. But the healing journey is a solitary journey, right? It is a process of healing and rejuvenation in solitary confinement almost. And so there might be a need to face some fear when it comes to walking your own path for a little while. I do feel you've been in some type of an illusion, and the mind is a powerful thing, Gemini. And so when we allow ourselves to simply experience life in the present moment, get lost in the present moment, the stresses melt away, the answers kind of come, and then we can enjoy the journey without any expectations or any reservations. And so what are you being prompted to change? I think 2023 was the year of truth being exposed, changes coming up. And I do feel the guides have been trying to tell you there's something more fulfilling awaiting you. You can't force a connection. Don't force romance. It's time to evaluate your life path, your life purpose, and maybe even a career change. This might even be a career change coming up in 2024 as we close out this year. So are you open to receiving the lesson? Clarity will come if you get in that present moment and you quiet the mind. Meditation might help you flow through all of these overwhelming thoughts that might be coming forward so you can release them. When we meditate, that is the process of allowing the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions to pass through us, all while disconnecting and not having an attachment to any of those energies. So maybe you have somebody here that has recently sparked your heart and your soul. And so this is where the contradictory energy comes in. Maybe you've been committed to something and you've been trying to force it to work, even though there's something new that is speaking to your heart and lifting you out of a stuck karmic situation is kind of what it feels like. So this could be work related. I do think you could be dealing with a catalyst here. Yeah, I do feel you've been dealing with a catalyst. And this person is there to kind of challenge you, to mirror back to you any insecurities, any illusions of the mind. And I do feel a catalyst is a very challenging dynamic, right? A catalyst comes in to blast you out of your comfort zone, to get you to refocus all of your energies. And it is a very challenging redirection. So I do feel something more fulfilling is awaiting you. I'm hearing music. That's so interesting. I think it's coming from my daughter's room in the basement. Maybe her Alexa, her Google Home Mini is doing its own thing. But I feel you've been in this energy of the void, and maybe even a dark night of the soul energy where you're shifting your perception of reality. Things have been kind of working behind the scenes, below the surface, in the spiritual 5D realm and above. And so there's a gap, right? And we have to have that gap, that alone time, that disconnection, that time for healing and rejuvenation before going towards the new cycle. But I think you're ready. You're ready to receive this lesson. The student is ready. So maybe you're the student. And when the student's ready, the teacher appears. And so a lot of the dynamics we have within our lives are teacher-student dynamics, right? Everybody we meet comes along our path to teach us either something about ourselves, something we need to learn new about life in general, but we have to be open to receiving the lesson. And so I do feel get ready for an integration, a soul alignment process after some upheaval. So December might be a month of upheaval. You might have recently gone through a tower moment or upheaval where there's been a parting of the ways that's splitting apart. And now there's a need to go through some healing of the heart, the mind, the body, and the soul. And so I do feel like you're going through an integration of your soul's purpose, and there is going to be a major paradigm shift. So connect with your guides, because I do feel you're in a very tough situation here, feeling stressed, but ready for change. And I do feel Spirit saying it's time to let go of the old to welcome in the new. So are you ready to usher in a brand new energy? Because I feel you've manifested, you've attracted something into your life, and you've got to break free from something. And so get ready for a tower. And this tower is happening unexpectedly, and it's unfolding according to the divine's plan that's playing out. And so I do feel long-term commitment is around the corner, and you're going through a massive heart awakening because you've been forcing something, and I don't think it's working out. So let's jump in with some tarot. Let's see what else needs to come through for you, Gemini. Messages for Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. I actually like what I see in the cut. We get the Fool with the Five of Cups in reverse. And so you're coming out of a period, I feel, of prolonged stagnation, grieving. There could have been a need to heal from a past cheating scenario, third-party situation. I do feel while we were working through that Taurus North Node and the South Node in Scorpio, you likely were going through the dark night of the soul. I feel healing from any past regrets, shame, guilt. Maybe you're remorseful, but I do feel maybe the last 5 years have been a process of releasing past baggage, preparing for a new beginning. And so we do have Uranus in Taurus, and it is going to go, did it already go direct? No, I believe Uranus is going to be stationing direct on January the 6th. So there might be a shift then, a reset then when Uranus goes from retrograde to direct. And I do feel somebody here is still wearing a mask, and so there's a need to bring any inauthentic energies to the surface in order to complete maybe a healing journey. So things have likely been pretty tricky for you emotionally throughout 2023. And so let's see what you need to know when it comes to what's coming in the potential future for 2024. So I think I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread for you, Gemini. And let's see what needs to come through. All right, let's see. All right, Eight of Wands. This is where you're at right now, and the challenge is the Two of Wands. So I feel a Ten of Wands here, right? We've got a Ten of Wands. That's where you're currently at. So there's challenges when it comes to taking action, maybe, right? And so you have made a decision. You are at that crossroads that I felt. And so what's below you is the Fool. What's behind you is the Empress. Very interesting. What's above you is the Four of Cups. What's ahead of you in the near future is the Seven of Wands. And then we get the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Hermit. Give me 1 second, Gemini. My apologies. That music was driving me nuts. I had to go downstairs and shut that music off that just started playing all on its own. Lots of Christmas music. Anyway, okay, let's see the bottom of the deck, Gemini. Oh, shucky ducky is what I want to say. Oh, the Ace of Coins and the Five of Cups in reverse and the Six of Pentacles. So I do feel we're in the Aries North Node, and now we have the South Node in Libra. So I do feel over the transition of the Aries North Node and throughout 2024, there is a brand new beginning here. There is something brand new waiting, right? Ready for change, ready for change. You are bossing up, I feel. So you are still rebalancing and healing from some past regrets and shame. The bottom of the deck is really what you don't see coming, the hidden energy. And what you don't see coming is a brand new beginning in love. This is like the holy grail of love. The Palace of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Sun. And so I feel December is a month of revelations. That's what I feel, Gemini. December is a month of revelations, heart-centered truth. I feel there is a masculine here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, receiving an abundance of downloads. And I do feel this is like a moment of illumination. And so I feel December is a month of planting a seed. Maybe bringing forward an intentional offer of love. I feel a King of Swords wants to plant a seed. I do feel a masculine energy here that has been healing from some shame, some past regrets, and some guilt, and maybe even healing from a missed opportunity with an Empress, a divine feminine. And I do feel somebody's ready to really invest and put in the hard work, because I do feel somebody's recently gone through a Kundalini activation and a heart awakening, right? We did see the heart opening, the heart awakening. And so I do feel somebody here is really at the crossroads when it comes to maybe sending a message. I do feel somebody's been receiving a lot of divine communication, that the time is now to make a decision and to take action. But the challenge is somebody isn't actually putting one foot forward. They're staying stuck. Aries energy, Sagittarius energy. And I do feel when Mercury goes back into Sagittarius retrograde, right now it's retrograde Capricorn, it's going to be going back into Sagittarius, I believe the 23rd, at the end of the week. And so there might be movement then, just right before Christmas, because I do feel somebody here is kind of feeling like a fool, feeling like a sacred clown when it comes to something they put behind them. And we got the Empress behind you here, Gemini. And so, like I said, figure out who you are in this story and don't cram yourself into a message. Somebody could have walked away from an Empress and they didn't see the potential in this person in the past. This could have been somebody walking away from the mother of their child. But I do feel there is this energy of trying to manifest a new beginning in love. Somebody has some regrets when it comes to a third party or a missed opportunity, and maybe the last 3 to 4 years have been a process of you know, dealing with some unresolved emotions, some stress. I do feel there's like a storm of brewing here, and somebody, I feel, in the near future is on the defense, maybe coming in ready to defend a connection that they were not willing to invest in the past, is what it feels like. And so what else we got here is we've got a Queen of Wands with a 9 of Wands, a 5 of Swords, and a Hermit. And so we could have had a masculine here that was dealing with a third party karmic, right? Especially with the Empress coming out. We've got a karmic feminine here that maybe had some past life karma to clear with this Queen of Swords, with this masculine. And so I kind of feel a Queen of Swords here that has brought somebody to their knees. I feel a karmic feminine here that is very manipulative. And this has really sparked somebody to go within and to recognize maybe their own self-sabotaging behaviors. But I feel there's going to be some communication about an ending, about somebody that's really been struggling. And this is likely why there's been blocked communication, because of a Queen of Wands. Maybe there's a Queen of Wands that, you know, blocked communication on behalf of this King of Swords. But I do feel there's an Empress here that is glowing, that is ready to receive some type of harvest. And I feel somebody knows it's time to take action and to defend this connection. And so I do feel somebody here has tried to maybe sabotage and prevent somebody from taking action. But there's a lot of spiritual enlightenment that's been gained within this process. So maybe this won't fully play out until the full moon in Leo and Aquarius season. But I would like to clarify some of these energies. So let's clarify this Empress, because she's what's really standing out for me. And this is somebody that was left in the past, a Taurus or a Libra. We get the King of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Coins. So what are we missing here? We got the King of Cups, the King of Wands, the King of Swords. We're missing the King of Pentacles, but we got the Knight of Coins. So we do have what I feel is a twin flame union coming through. We've got 3 out of the 4 of the Kings. And so we've got a masculine here that's been working on their finances, working on their pentacles, and they haven't quite fully matured. They might be coming in with an offer, and it might not be a lot, but it is a solid offer. It's an offer of investing. I'm going to put the work in. I'm going to put the time in. And there's passion here. There's love here. There's truth here. And so I think the last step out of all of the processing to get to the Empress or the Emperor would be the Queen of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles. And so somebody here, I feel, maybe has been working on their finances, is what it feels like. And so I just feel there is an offer of love coming, a passionate offer of love, and a solid offer of commitment of saying, hey, like, I'm really ready to put in the hard work and do whatever it takes to build a solid foundation. I'm in it for the long haul. And so what does this Empress have to say about this offer? Well, we get a Knight of Cups, we get a 3 Cups, and we get the Wheel. We've got an Empress saying, hey, like, I danced with you before. I'm all done playing games. I don't want juvenile love. I've kind of moved on from this. We see an Empress that got left out in the past, and I feel an Empress that kind of moved on and healed from maybe a third-party interference. Definitely third-party here. And so I just feel like the Empress allowed fate to carry her forward, went through a period of expansion and growth, and she's doing well. She's reaping the harvest of all of the hard work that she put in. But I also feel the Empress is saying, well, if you want to start at rock bottom with me from that 0 point, I'd be willing to maybe see where this goes. But I think it's going to have to be fresh, brand new energy. And you're going to have to invest and put in the work. I do feel there's potential for victory here, but somebody's going to have to take off the mask of inauthenticity. I do feel the Empress is saying, I recognize that the doorway opportunity for union is here, and the doorway opportunity isn't going to stay open for long. And so I think maybe this Empress too is on the fence about taking a leap of faith when it comes to creating something solid. Because I do feel in the past we've got an Empress that was willing to invest her 5 of Pentacles to build something solid. And I think she got ghosted and abandoned and left out in the cold. And it took strength, I feel, to walk away, even though the truth was shown to this Empress. And so I do feel there is a realignment going on here. And there is a possibility for a new beginning. So let's see what the 7 of Wands, let's go deeper into the 7 of Wands. Because I just feel somebody wants to come in and defend this connection. Yeah, I do feel a new, fresh beginning here. I do feel, yeah, we got the King and Queen of Cups now too. So I do feel an offer of love. I do feel an offer of commitment. With the dolphins on the card, dolphins mate for life. So with the 3 and the 7, we do have a 10 of Wands. And so I do feel the stuckness, there's that 10 of Wands again. The 10 of Wands from your current energy. And so somebody here is stuck when it comes to sending communication. Because I feel it's like it's either going to be a straight cut yes or a straight cut no. And there's going to be no in between. But I just feel the time has come to lay down this burden. And so I feel there is still love here. And there is still a possibility for wish fulfillment. Now we got all of the pages out. Maybe there's like a blending of families here. But I do feel there is a need to have a conversation about some past betrayal. Some third-party betrayal in the past. And I do feel the feminine in this connection is probably a little bit guarded. But I think get ready for unexpected communication because this is coming in like wildfire. So I do feel over the course of the next year, there is a possibility for a reunion and building a solid foundation. But it's going to be like from ground zero. So let's get you a closing message or an advice card with the Crystal Stone deck. What else does Gemini need to be aware of? Recharge your good vibes. Amber. Maybe you're dealing with somebody whose name is Amber. Is Amber... Oh, what month is that for? I don't remember. Okay, but I just feel like there's 2 very old souls here. And there has been a very long, drawn-out Dark Night of the Soul energy. And if you want this person in your life, I don't know if you're the one taking action or not, Gemini, but you have to take the action, right? You have to make room for this person in your life. And so I do feel somebody is just dying for a metaphysical hug from this Empress. And I do feel there's like an electric component to this connection is what it feels like. But I think somebody got all caught up on the inside of all of the exclusions in their life, inclusions. And I do feel in a very paradoxical situation. And I do feel like there's some deep, deep ancient origins here between you and this person. So we got the pie right. Somebody was dealing with fool's gold. Somebody didn't recognize this Empress's worth and value. And now I feel they're feeling stuck, all boxed in, all cubed in a false foundation or structure. And so there is going to be a blast and a part of something false here, because somebody's really been sleeping on their fullest potential. And I feel it is the masculine, because the Empress came out as that Empress and we didn't see the Emperor come out. And so I do feel there is a beautiful, beautiful, amazing thing here about to materialize. Maybe even a romantic getaway if you have kids, away from the kids. But I do feel somebody's been shrouded in a lot of dark matter, and they're about to break through and power through and to escape that that mental clutter in the mind. And they're getting ready to climb out of that rock bottom with the proverbial spiritual ladder, climbing Jacob's ladder, climbing Mount Shasta. And I do feel they're coming in with like a Page of Wands offer. They're ready. They're ready. They need a vacation. They're ready to invest in something real. Somebody's being awakened to their inner magician, and they are ready to get drunk on their highest self. So there could have been addictions here too that prevented two people from coming together. But I just feel there's somebody here in this connection whose life is like a train wreck. It's way off track. There's been secrets. There's been lies. Somebody's living in a space where they're feeling confined. And it's time for them to stop playing the victim, stop playing the martyr, and start living with purpose, and to claim their Empress and to claim their success. And this is what I've got. I really hope this helped, Gemini. I hope this resonated. I wish you a very Merry Christmas, a happy holiday, a happy New Year, and I hope to see you again next time. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, I still have availability. If you book before Christmas Eve, I will still honor the sale prices for my half-hour special and my hour special. Check out the description box below if you'd like to book in with me. There you will find my contact information, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks, Gemini.